On the morning of September 14th, 2025, the boxing world was stunned when police in Greater Manchester confirmed the death of British boxing legend Ricky Hatton. The man once known as the Hitman, a fierce and unrelenting champion, was found lifeless at his home in Gorse Hill. Authorities quickly sealed off the scene, and within hours a police spokesperson stated, "There are no suspicious circumstances surrounding the death." The news spread rapidly across global media, sending shockwaves through the sports community. Ricky Hatton, one of Britain's most beloved fighters, was just 46 years old. His death came barely 3 months before his planned comeback bout in Dubai, a return he had called the final chapter of his storied career. Instead of the bell signalling his next fight, it was the sound of mourning that echoed through Manchester. A month later, a formal coroner's inquest confirmed what fans had feared. Ricky Hatton had taken his own life. For millions who idolised him as the working-class hero who conquered the world, it was a devastating revelation. The fighter who had outlasted Kostya Tszyu and battled legends like Mayweather and Pacquiao had lost his toughest fight, the one against himself. At 6:45 a.m. that September morning, a call reached Greater Manchester Police reporting a possible emergency at Hatton's residence. When officers arrived, they found the former world champion unresponsive. His longtime manager, Paul Speak, was the first to discover him. Speak had come to pick Hatton up for a flight to Dubai, where the boxer was scheduled to attend a promotional event for his December comeback fight. "He missed the call, didn't answer the door, so I went inside," Speak later told investigators. "And then I knew something was terribly wrong." A police report released later that day described the scene as peaceful and undisturbed, with no indication of forced entry or foul play. Paramedics pronounced Hatton dead at the scene. On October 16, 2025, during a brief hearing at the Manchester South Coroner's Court, Senior Coroner Alison Much confirmed the provisional cause of death as hanging. She stated there was no evidence of third-party involvement and that the inquiry would be resumed in March 2026, once toxicology and psychological reports were complete. Family members told the court that they had last seen Hatton 2 days earlier on September 12th, describing him as happy, motivated, and looking forward to his trip. He had spoken enthusiastically about training and spending more time with his children and grandchildren. For many, that made the tragedy even harder to understand. Hatton was weeks away from stepping back into the spotlight, preparing for his first professional bout in 13 years. Yet beneath the optimism, something dark and silent had clearly taken hold. A battle raging far from the roar of the crowd. Born on October 6, 1978, in Stockport, England, Ricky Hatton grew up in a working-class family that ran a small pub in the nearby town of Hyde. Down in the basement of that pub, a teenage Hatton built the foundation of what would become one of the most storied boxing careers in British history. At just 18 years old, Hatton turned professional, making his debut in 1997 with a win over Colin McCauley. From that moment, fans saw something rare, an aggressive fighter with relentless pressure, mastery of body punching, and the charisma of an everyday man. He wasn't just fighting opponents, he was fighting for every pub worker, every fan from Manchester's blue-collar streets who saw in him a reflection of themselves. Hatton's career skyrocketed in the early 2000s. The defining moment came in 2005 when he defeated Kostya Tszyu, the feared IBF light welterweight champion, in a stunning 11th round stoppage at the Men Arena. That victory established Hatton as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Later that same year, he unified the division by defeating Carlos Mauser, capturing the WBA title. Fans dubbed him the Pride of Hyde, while promoters called him the People's Champion. He wasn't the most technically perfect boxer, but he had a heart that refused to quit and a style that made every fight an event. By 2007, Hatton had built a flawless record of 43-0 before facing Floyd Mayweather Jr. in Las Vegas. a global spectacle watched by millions. He lost via a 10th-round knockout, but even in defeat, his reputation grew. 2 years later, he faced Manny Pacquiao and was stopped in the second round, a brutal reminder of how unforgiving the sport could be. After those losses, Hatton's body was battered, and his spirit even more so. His final professional fight came in 2012 against Vyacheslav Senchenko, which ended in another knockout. He announced his retirement shortly after, closing the book on a career that spanned 48 fights, 45 wins, 3 losses, and 32 knockouts. To millions, he remained a national hero, the working-class warrior who had lived every dream and every heartbreak in front of them. Behind the fame and sold-out arenas, Ricky Hatton's real battle was one few saw. After his 2012 retirement, the fighter once known for his energy and humor spiraled into depression, alcohol abuse, and substance addiction. In 2010, British tabloids exposed photos of Hatton using cocaine, an incident that humiliated him publicly and nearly destroyed his career. Later, he admitted to suffering from severe anxiety, insomnia, and suicidal thoughts, confessing in a BBC interview, "I was crying every day, wondering what my purpose was. I'd lost who I was once the fighting stopped." For years, he fought to rebuild his life outside the ring. He entered rehab at the Priory Clinic, sought therapy, and returned to training others, trying to channel his pain into helping young fighters. But depression isn't a battle easily won. Even as he smiled for cameras, the emptiness often returned. Friends later revealed that Hatton would sometimes isolate himself for days, refusing to answer calls. He spoke candidly about feeling forgotten, that once the lights faded, so did his sense of worth. Despite those struggles, he became an advocate for mental health, working with the Campaign Against Living Miserably, CALM, to encourage men to speak out about emotional pain. "If someone like me can admit I've struggled," he once said, "then maybe another lad out there will do the same before it's too late." Yet, as history has too often shown, those who shine a light for others sometimes can't escape their own darkness. In the summer of 2025, Ricky Hatton announced what would be his grand return to the ring. The fight was set for December 2nd, 2025, in Dubai against Emirati boxer and promoter Issa Alda. It would mark Hatton's first official bout in 13 years, a moment of redemption and renewal. At first, the comeback seemed to reignite his spark. He was training intensely, sharing photos of his workouts, joking with fans online, and giving interviews filled with optimism. "I feel great," he told Sky Sports in August. "I've got my fire back. I just want to prove I can still go one more time." But close friends later admitted that behind that determination lay immense pressure, both physical and emotional. Hatton had to meet strict weight targets, deal with lingering injuries, and manage financial obligations surrounding the fight. Worse, he reportedly feared letting his fans down if the comeback failed. Manager Paul Speak said Hatton was under tremendous pressure to perform and had recently complained of exhaustion and sleeplessness. He wanted to make everyone proud again. That meant more to him than money, Speak told reporters. 2 days before his death, family members described him as cheerful and preparing for his Dubai trip. Then suddenly, silence. When he missed his scheduled appearance on September 13th, Paul Speak went to check on him the next morning and found the unimaginable. The comeback that was supposed to revive his career instead marked its tragic end. At the coroner's hearing and during later television appearances, Ricky Hatton's son, Campbell Hatton, himself a professional lightweight boxer, struggled to hold back tears as he recalled the final days with his father. "Everything happened so fast it doesn't feel real. We're just trying to get through each day," he said. Campbell revealed that the overwhelming love from fans had given the family strength. "Dad always said the thing he was proudest of wasn't his titles, it was the fans." Seeing thousands of people lining the streets for his funeral, I finally understood what he meant. The funeral took place on October 10th, 2025, at Manchester Cathedral. The ceremony drew thousands, from boxing legends like Tyson Fury and Amir Khan to football icons Wayne Rooney and Roy Keane, and even Oasis singer Liam Gallagher. The procession moved slowly through Manchester's streets, where fans in blue held banners reading, "One of our own." Hatton's 3 children walked behind the coffin carried by Campbell, his uncle Matthew, and longtime manager Paul Speake. It was a solemn yet deeply human farewell to a man who had lived and fought for his people. After the funeral, Campbell posted a simple message on Instagram. "I'll make you proud, Dad. I'll keep fighting, just like you taught me." Although the coroner's office listed hanging as the provisional cause of death, several questions remain unanswered. The final inquest, scheduled for March 20th, 2026, is expected to reveal further details about Hatton's mental state, toxicology results, and any medical factors that may have contributed. Friends told The Guardian that Hatton appeared in good spirits just days before his death, making the tragedy even harder to comprehend. "He wasn't the same in the days leading up to it," one friend said, "but we thought it was just the stress of training." Investigators are reviewing Hatton's phone records and communications from September 12th to 14th to reconstruct his final hours. There are no indications of outside involvement, but authorities want to establish whether he reached out for help or left behind any personal note. Psychologists have emphasized that sudden mood improvement before suicide is not uncommon. It often occurs when a person has made a final decision, finding a calm acceptance before the act. For Hatton's family, these explanations bring little comfort. He had so much to live for, his kids, his comeback, everything. "None of it makes sense," said his brother Matthew. In life, Ricky Hatton embodied grit, courage, and humour, the heart of Britain's working class. In death, he has become a symbol of another fight, the battle against silence, stigma, and unseen pain. Following his passing, the Ricky Hatton Foundation was established to promote mental health awareness and support at-risk athletes. Campaigns under the slogan "Don't Fight Alone" have since spread across UK gyms, reminding fighters that even the strongest need help sometimes. Hatton's story has forced the sporting world to look beyond victory and defeat, to acknowledge that mental health can be as critical as physical strength. Tyson Fury, who also battled depression, said it best. "Ricky fought the hardest rounds inside his own head. I hope his story saves someone else's life. From the pubs of Hyde to the grand arenas of Las Vegas, Hatton's journey was always about people, his people. Though the man is gone, the roar of the crowd that once lifted him still echoes as a plea to the living. Reach out, speak up, don't fight your demons alone. Ricky Hatton's gloves may have hung for the last time, but his spirit remains forever, the people's champion."